So, welcome to the tour of N6401 Kariwa. We're in Port Sidney, Port Sidney, British Columbia. And the weather had been pretty rainy this morning, so we decided to tidy up the boat and do a quick boat tour before we head off ashore. And I'm standing on the dock, and there you can see Leslie standing on the boat. And I'm just going to go on board, and we'll take you from the stern all the way through the accommodation, up onto the pilot house, down into the engine room, even up onto the Flybridge. You can see that she's been buffed, and she came up pretty good. This is the entrance where we get on. You can have a step, or you can just step on board. Teak decks on the aft end. And we come around, and this is one of the areas that we particularly like on the boat. You like it, don't you, Les?
I love it because it's enclosed, but also I don't like the enclosures entirely because it makes it difficult for fishing. But definitely up here to have the enclosures is going to make a huge difference because it keeps it nice and dry and relatively warm out of the wind. It's lovely.
Here you can see in front of us, you can see the aft station for docking stern 2. Around here, under here is a propane grill. Yeah, you can open it. It's heavy, pretty good. Oh, probably needs a clean. We last used it at anchor. Anyway, it's pretty good. Then we've got a pretty good fridge there, which keeps the cokes ready for the rum. They're going down slower at the moment, but yeah, overall a great area. And we'll move in, double doors, move into our newly vamped Salon. So here you can see that we've undergone an extensive renovation of the boat. New carpets, new cushions, new foam inside, and also new coverings. Some beautiful wood on the tables. Wood's still in great condition. It's a big, spacious room. Over in the corner is our Nyami Nyami walking stick with the Nyami Nyami on the top. Picture of us and the 4 kids.
The family.
Probably needs an update with the baby and the 2 new son-in-laws. But we're very happy with how this has come out. Just blinds now, none of those gaudy curtains that we had before. And one thing about this boat is that the first owner put a lot of thought into putting some pretty fancy wood and covings. It's in great condition. We thought about maybe changing the countertop, but I think with the rest of the colors, the black goes pretty well. We move into the oh, you want the I forgot the wines. Of course, no boat with my wife is complete without a wine cooler. Beautifully set out. And we come around, move aft. Another thing which is quite fancy on this boat is the glass cabinet. Crystal cabinet, sorry, darling. It had to have a couple of adjustments for the wine rack, which fortunately Tony Fields at Yacht Tech happily helped me out in rejigging the wine cooler. Come around into the galley. You're standing behind the fridge. It's a pretty large fridge, right? And a freezer below with a great ice maker. Where else do we have cooling? Refrigerant. We have a freezer in the...
Yeah, there's 2 freezers in the lazarette, and then there's a fridge up on the Flybridge.
Oh, that's correct.
A little bar fridge.
Little bar fridge.
On the Flybridge.
Which has to be on for the radar to work. Just a peculiarity of somebody's wiring. A nice big space. One of the nice things about this compared to the old boat is the big window in the on the side lock.
Yeah. And we have a smaller dishwasher.
Yeah.
It's adequate for the two of us. And we have a garbage compactor, which we didn't have before. Ours was manual.
Yeah, ours was manual. Propane stove.
A nice big stove and plenty of space on the side.
Yeah.
On the sides too.
And then the microwave's down in the corner there.
Down at the bottom.
Yeah. So if we move around, we'll go up to the pilot house a little later. We move across here to the electrical panel. They are 1164s, and there are different configurations where some have this panel here and some have on the lower deck by the engine room entrance. I'm very happy to have it on this level. Otherwise, I would think it would be a pain in the neck to keep going down below. It also closes down the size of the crew cabin as well. Anyway, we'll move forwards and take us down into the master cabin, babe. Oh, there's the pantry door there. The pantry. It's additional storage. This other cupboard here is the AV cupboard, which we're still working through. All of the AV gear. No more. Yeah, so 3 steps down to the master cabin. The master cabin is across the whole boat. Again, some 64s have a passageway on the starboard side. Lady Muck sitting in the chair there. Very nice, very spacious, lots of storage in our cabin. You can see a lot of an ornate wood and coving.
Beveled mirrors.
Nice beveled mirrors. Yeah. Beautiful space. Lots of storage. Unfortunately for me, the larger the boat, the more room she finds to put stuff. But that's just the way it is. Perhaps not our favorite head, but still adequate for the two of us. With the sink and the head and the shower behind the door. Perfectly adequate. Yeah. And then when the two of us live alone, take us through there, we use this through door, which can be locked. So we'll go forwards into the what we call the VIP cabin. You want to talk about this, love?
Well, the original headboard and lampshades are still here. With some of the cushions, we kept them because it's kind of little mini leopard print, and personally I kind of like that.
No, I think it's nice actually.
Yes.
Lovely wood. Yeah.
It's cozy in here.
Yeah.
And plenty of storage, hanging space, drawer space, plenty of drawers down here.
Yeah.
Nice ornate
Yeah.
woodwork.
A lot of careful woodwork.
And I should get out so that there's more.
No, just go in the shower.
Nice big shower.
It's a lovely space. We had to do a little bit of work in that shower, and they've done a good job on matching the gel coat. There were some cracks. Again, not an unusual thing to happen, but a lovely space. As we move back, come around and go down. Over on the starboard side is the twin bunk room, which is basically turning into storage, and it also has its own head and its own shower, so that's also pretty good. If you can see here, when we have guests, then we would close and lock that door, and then the access would be up these stairs, which will go up to the pilot house. Here we are up on the pilot house. 2 stid chairs, his and hers, so to speak. I'm already enjoying them when we sit and have our tea and when we're underway. We have 4 19-inch screens. This is our standard setup. Navigation chart on the starboard side, echo sounder, radar, and then the cameras, which is generally pointed at the engine room. Up on top is the wing control, the hydraulics is there. Yeah, the anchor, remote anchor lifting, the Iridium Go over on the port side here. And then over on the other side, we have our wind instruments and our GPS 39, the new satellite compass. The electrical panel for the pilot house. Over here on the starboard side, you can see the 2 generators. The black water system, the grey water system, the water maker, all of which can be operated from up here. Mother's control, 2 AP50s, which we haven't upgraded. They're pretty good. And of course, my follow-up control for driving the boat, which is pretty cool. And the controls for the main engine. You swing around. We have a pretty large upper pilot seating area, which could easily seat 6 to 8 people, and a double sleeping arrangement as well, which when we had long passages we used all the time. This is where you live when you make a long passage. Everyone is up here pretty much all the time, certainly for the 2 of us. When we crossed the Pacific on the 62, we pretty much lived up here unless we had to go to the ablutions or the galley.
The galley, important.
The galley. Yeah. This is the stairs up to the Flybridge. Do you want to pop up there, love, and open it up? You can also access it, of course, from outside. Upstairs, of course, we didn't have a Flybridge on the 62, and we didn't really miss it. Already, though, we've had a lot of fun sitting up here, not necessarily when we're driving, but definitely more when we've been at anchor, or we felt like having coffee or a cocktail in the evening with a great view. Now the weather's really warmed up here today. I can see it's lovely up here.
Yeah, it actually feels warm.
Yeah. 2 stid chairs, reciprocal controls up here. You can do most things up here that you can do down in the pilot house. We also have port and starboard Portuguese bridge controls. You can see from here, you get a pretty good view out over the bow of the boat. And I imagine in warmer climes, or when we get underway, we'll have a lot of fun. What do you think?
It'll be lovely up here.
Yeah. Why don't you go down on the boat deck, and I'll currently we have an 11-foot and a 15.5-foot dinghy. The 15.5 is a 70 horse Yamaha, and the 11-foot has a 30 horsepower Yamaha. Over on the port side, you see our pretty substantial davit, electro-hydraulic, which is able to lift both of these. It extends out. You can launch the dinghy either over the starboard side or over the stern. Sorry, port side. The other starboard. Of course, I'm facing aft. I didn't use my head. But anyway, it's a great space down there as well. So now we'll go down, I think, into the engine room. And I'll make my way down the stairs. These are the stairs that go from the pallet house back down to the galley and the salon area. Do you want to lead us down into the engine room now?
Coming.
There's the master cabin, and then these are the stairs down into what I call below decks. Interesting space here. We have a crew cabin, captain's cabin, whichever you'd like to call it, with an associated head here. The head has a shower and toilet. Of course, we're using it to store white toweling and paper towels, which we use for cleanup. And here we have a full-size washer and a full-size dryer.
Not my favorite piece of equipment.
Not her favorite piece of equipment, mainly because it's a condenser dryer without a funnel out.
So it's a somewhat drier.
Somewhat drier dryer. Again, this is a pretty nice cabin. Again, it's as we get used to doing everything, we've still got a little bit of storage, but it can easily sleep 3 people. And upstairs, of course, you can have 2 in the master, 2 in the bunks, and 2 in the other. So that's 6 and 3 is 9 people could easily, comfortably sleep on this boat. It's a lovely space. It's also, in rougher weather, probably the more comfortable place to sleep. Yeah?
To be tested.
To be tested. Pretty solid door into the engine room. Very different engine room to our old 62. There's headroom. Leslie can obviously easily stand. Leslie does a lot of the engine checks in the engine room, and I think we operate as a team. Here you can see the MTU Series 60 diesel, rated at 475 horsepower, 115 horsepower lugger wing engine. This is the new exhaust blanket that we had put on, all new coolant hoses, pretty substantial workbench area here with storage. If you come around to the port side of the engine room, this is the fuel control station where all the manifolds are. The polishing ray core and the main engine ray cores are here. And the day tank, which is an 80-gallon day tank, which at 8 gallons an hour means that we probably have 8 to 9 hours before I need to refill it. So you kind of need to set a timer to make sure you don't run out of fuel. This is our 25 kW generator. It is an old generator that has been overhauled, refurbished, and brought back to life by Yacht Tech, including the sound shield, which is an amazing job done by them. The fuel manifold allows us to have multiple configurations of bringing the fuel in. Although this boat has a gravity feed system, we do not use it. We only use the pump to bring the fuel into the day tank through the polishing ray core. The reason that sign is upside down because that's the old Cayman number and not the current official number of the boat. As we move aft in the engine room, this is the new 20 kW generator with about 20 hours on it right now. And over on the side here is 3 of the 8 engine air conditioning units. Some of the start batteries and some storage of coolant and what have you. On the back end there is the 2 breakers for the generators and battery switches, the old Xantrex inverters, which we're looking at replacing when we get back to Anacortes towards the end of the summer. And then over on the starboard side at the back is the two hydraulic alternators, which have had Balmars added to them with electrical sensors, and those keep the batteries charged when we're underway if we don't use the generator. At the current time, we don't have the house being charged by the alternator on the main engine. Down there is the hydraulic cooling pump, the hydraulic tank over in the back end, two more air conditioning units. The wing engine has its own fuel tank, fuel supply tank, so you need to make sure that's also topped up. And then this system here on the starboard side is the oil pumping system for pumping out old oil or putting in new oil. And we have multiple ways of doing that. In the lazarette we have a new oil tank and a used oil tank. Both are currently empty, and we also have oil in barrels, so we can put it in multiple different ways. Right in front of us is the starboard fuel tank that holds 910 gallons. We have the same on the port side, also holds 910 gallons. And then just outside the engine room forward is two other fuel tanks, each holding 700 gallons. As we come round, we have the door into the lazarette area where the steering gear is, and Leslie's going to go in there, and I'll ask her to talk about what she's dealing with in there. Can you put the light on? So what's going on in here, Les?
Okay, that's all the steering gear.
Yeah.
On the starboard side over there, we have all the house batteries. I don't know how many there are, like 20.
No, I can't remember now off the top of my head.
The dive tanks, and then just a whole lot of storage for oil. We couldn't get 5-gallon drums. We had to buy these 1 gallons.
3 in boxes of 3. Yeah.
And here's the old water maker. There's a chance we'll add a new water maker, so that we'll have 2, and that will probably go just above here. We have a freezer.
Mm-hmm.
And then back here there's a Dometic, which is a fridge and freezer. So when we catch lots of fish, we'll fill them all up. This is just a cover for the grill because they say it doesn't get hot enough if it's standing open while you're heating it up. So it's yet to be tested. This is the hurricane heater, which is necessary up here.
Diesel furnace heater, yeah.
Yeah, diesel heater.
Mm-hmm.
And there's 2 air conditioning units here. There's another one all the way in the back there.
There's the Salon Galley one over there.
And
And then this tank in the back there, that's the clean oil, the new oil tank. And there's an equivalent one in the back. Yeah. And then we have 2 Glendenning automatic power cable stackers. All things that we didn't have in the previous boat. This black thing here, for those who don't know, is a manual bilge pump. Behind it is the electrical bilge pump. There are multiple bilge pumps on the boat, and we had to test them today when we had a bit of a thing with one of our through holes. We had a lot of seawater come in, but the bilge pump handled it very well.
Also, these reels with Dyneema are for stern tying to land, for example to a tree or to some rocks.
You would anchor and then roll these lines out. Very, very strong, very, very capable. So, any thoughts after the tour around the boat compared to the old boat? General other things?
Well, this is much bigger. Much bigger than the old boat. Obviously I'm still biased because I do like the old boat, but I must say, I mean, the lazarette here is enormous. It's almost the size of the engine room on the other boat. But I think, the problem with having a lot of storage space is you end up storing a lot of stuff.
Oh, she's on tape now. She's admitted it.
Oh, yes. But yeah, I mean, it's big.
Is that all? You find it comfortable. I mean, you think about what we were talking about, the Salon and how wide it is.
Oh, yes. It is. It's very big. It's big. That's all. It's big. Well, we just need to get used to it because we had an aft pilot house on the other boat and it was lovely to see your whole deck laid out before you. Now we're like right in front of the boat. So we have to keep remembering to look back to see what's behind or what's going on behind.
For docking as well, yeah.
Yes. And obviously having two dinghies, so the boat deck has got two boats on it. We have yet to form an opinion about which one will be nicer or easier to launch or easier to use.
Well, I definitely think the smaller one will be easier to launch, and if we were in the Bahamas, we'd probably use it a lot more for going on the sand or some of these islands. But for going diving or anything, I think the larger one will be much better. It's got a proper ladder to board from. Yeah. It's got diving area to... it's got holding for the tanks. It's got that kind of stuff.
The dive compressor was here.
Oh.
And it's been taken out because it wasn't working very well. So we will bring it back when we come back from...
We're actually going to get the old one off our old boat.
Yeah.
Which is fantastic.
We won't be needing it in Alaska.
No, we won't be needing it in Alaska. Yeah. We are warm weather divers, let's just say.
Warm weather person.
What haven't we covered? Is there anything we haven't covered? We haven't been out on the bow. But other than that, we haven't been in the Portuguese bridge. But, I mean, it's just what it is. Yeah.
Otherwise, I think that's kind of was everything. I don't know. I don't think we missed anything.
Well, we're in British Columbia now, and we came across, it was 35-mile trip. We used 35 gallons. So it's about twice the amount of fuel we would have used on the old boat.
And we did see orcas on the way over.
We did.
They were far away.
And the orca police told me to slow down, which I'd already done, and also directed me to take a port turn, which I was already doing.
She did inform us that there are two species of orca, and the one species, I forget their technical names, you need to stay 200 yards away from, and the transient orcas, which are endangered, you have to stay 1,000 yards away from. She says, but you can't identify them from the surface. So I don't know how that works.
No, I think we're both conservationists to a point, and we understand, but some of these people are a little overeager, in my opinion. But that's okay.
That's only because she told you to slow down.
Well, at the time we were doing 10.5 knots because we had a nice current up our tidal current up our chuff. So we were doing pretty good.
So okay. That's it.
That's
the
it.
New boat.
Now
the
we're
new to us boat.
The new to us boat.